Yo, 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 yo. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. Yeah. I'm Nick.
안녕 로입니다.
I'm Keith without the lip lipping.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all seen the thumbnail. You know why y'all here. Loona, flip that.
Loona, what up?
It's been a while since these beautiful women have been on this channel. Starlight.
He does the
That
look
song is
down
eternal to me.
so he can do the look up. It's been a while since this beautiful.
It's been a while.
while.
Let's jump into some God tier shit, man.
Hey yo,
PlayStation.
right?
Going to Hogwarts? Oh, yeah. Oh, this shit up. Oh, it's giving that. Hey! Giving that. Oh, bring new.
세상을 뒤집어 똑같은 day and night 이겨지지 않게 날 순간에 바로 지금처럼 와 끝없이 펼쳐져 I'm feeling nice I'm feeling good So rip that down 저기 손끝에 생각할게 두근두근 갈게 나나나 눈을 뜨면 어느새 그려진 나를 느껴 가만히 나를 끄는 새로운 빛을 따라 We love the way we go 그래 모두 뒤집어 Flip that 뒤집어 전부 flip that 줄게 오르려 Oh gotta do
Who's that with the red hair?
없는 길 다시 빛을 걸어도 가볍게 간다 같이 말해줘 변하는 건 멋지고 궁금해 색깔처럼 모두 다른 듯해 Why flip it inside out 꺼내줘 네 맘속 뛰어난 비밀 뒤집어 언제라도 들어줄게 나나나나 달을 보며 기다려 내일 두근대는 heartbeat 나나나 눈을 뜨면 어느새 노래진 흐린 느낌 가만히 나를 끄는 새로운 빛을 따라 We love the way we go 그래 모두 뒤집어 뒤집어 전부 flip that 말해줄게 우리가 Oh gonna do 끝없이 연결된 기억 속에 찾았던 빛 Hey babe hold on 이제 내 눈앞에 나타나 점점 빠져나가 내게 스며들어가 Yeah 알게 되겠지 우리 진심으로 원하면 Go slow with the bass 뒤집어 전부 flip that 갈게 우리가 We'll wake you up 내 빛이 되어줘 전부 뒤집어 정답은 yes 아무 때나 어때도 Oh gotta do
Shit. Like that.
Everything flipped and we start the journey through the free.
Yeah, that was
like
probably
that.
a bad placement of the
Yeah.
text, but other than that, because you basically put white writing on a white
On a
background.
white background.
You couldn't
In
read that
between the thing.
Sorry, video director or editor.
shit. Yeah, that's probably the only fail part of the whole junk. Because other than that, from an editor standpoint, the shit was clean. But
Let me know who had the
y'all
red
go ahead
hair.
and go off.
Yeah, this is not a off rip. This is not a download, but
Because for me, I've been in orbit day one. I said respectfully, Loona had the best album. But I'm gonna let you.
I'm gonna let you finish, but
I'll let you finish.
let's take a Hennessy from that guy. Score him out, please. Get him off the premises.
They're on to us.
But no, I love the way that they sing this, even though this is like a very cutesy kind of vibe and everything, this definitely has a little bit more funk to it. You know, those drums, I definitely like those as well. Nice digital drums, but not too digital and like anything like that. Is more, still sounds, it has a little bit of the, like I said, the funk vibes to it or whatever like that. I love the way this was mixed and mastered. The way they sing, like I said, is very pretty, kind of sultry, but not like overt or anything like that. Definitely like cute and just kind of like attractive and alluring. So yeah, this is not one for me, but this is still pretty cool as far as the video concept and everything like that. I love the color palette. I love that they're all wearing, you know, spring colors. Definitely the best time of the year. And it's just kind of nice vibe, or a nice outdoorsy kind of vibe with everything, including the train. If you notice, the train was like a damn garden itself. It had a lot of foliage and everything.
They're giving picnic vibes.
Yeah. So very cool. If this is something that they're going to continue, I can't wait to see the next next installment. So yeah.
Let's get the obvious out the way. They look beautiful. Red, it's a good hair color to come back for the comeback.
Orange wasn't bad too.
Yeah. What I will say is, you know what why I like this logo is because we just was watching something and we were talking about how not so much it wasn't like some sizzle on what just was happening. I think you just alluded to it, like you said you like their voice and stuff like that. Their voices almost sound like another layer of production on the beat, especially when it gets into that chorus part, and like they it's weird. It's like they got cute voices, but they're actually singing.
They're letting it flow as opposed to the modulation and the engineer going in there and putting a bunch of effects on their voice. You hear them. You actually hear them, and it's
a little seasoning.
All kind of like in a similar kind of range too. So it's kind of, I think that's what makes it flows better too. There's no spikes or anything like that.
And I'm not sure whose sis is right there doing all that. Like I can feel it, and I can feel the gut soulful, like like
so you can feel it in your gut. Never mind. Go ahead, continue, please.
No.
But yeah, for some other people, this might have been bland chicken, but their voice threw a little bit of sizzle on there, threw a little bit of spice
on there for me.
Yeah, threw a little. You know what I mean? So a couple other groups wouldn't have tackled this as well, but with them, I left kind of just seasoned right. It was fried hard the first time. If you know, you know. How you feel, G?
I thought it was good. I mean, again, kind of what you were saying, like the obvious. These girls look like, if you reimagined every Disney princess as a K-pop group, that's what they look like. They look very princessish and very elegant, and like just what you would imagine beauty to be, figuratively and literally in some cases. But
elegant look on this.
But I like the video. I like the vocals. I like the production. Even though it was some of the stuff was on offbeat, there were times where the producer would take certain beats out, reverb them back in, and it was like the most subtlest jaunt, but it was like it was so right on time. And it kind of made, like, even the chorus. Normally, when you get to the chorus, that's when the producer wants to show the fuck off and throw all the other stuff in. No, I'm gonna take everything out, and you're gonna your way right through this chorus. That's gonna be the focal point of the beat. Then it was a good joint. Would I download this? Don't know. Probably would say no, but if somebody were to put it on, especially with the video, I'm not gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna tell you, skip this shit. This is something I would listen to. Just wouldn't ask for it.
Yeah, I like that though, man. I like the whole where they kind of like, no disrespect, sure, I don't want to call it Diet Mariah Carey, but when they let you do that little run during like this chorus, all this that. We'll give it a sec. Like all that is just
that was clean.
The K world be scared. I ain't gonna say scared. There's some groups that can't get away with some of that. Like I think those lines like that sometimes where you catch people like slipping a little bit, you're like, "Oh, have me your voice, bro."
Let me ask you a question though. They do have beautiful voices, but would you be able to tell their voices apart, or does? So, like, to me, their voices are very beautiful, but very non-distinct.
I haven't heard enough. This is our 4th song.
Well, maybe just from this song, I would say, but maybe that's the way it was written, though.
Yeah, I don't.
So I can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to judge these young ladies off of just off of a song where maybe it was meant for like
right.
everyone's voice.
And I was my bail for that was going to be in Starlight. I could definitely hear different voices, and
I don't remember Starlight.
That's well, it's technically a star, but they sing Starlight.
Yeah, okay,
Super 80s.
I do.
I love
because
that
I think that's what
fucking
we
song.
talked about. We talked about that 80s feel.
Which is crazy because I
Was
love
that the green skirt
the
joint?
other joint that we did too that night. It
And
was
the school
Starlight.
gym?
That's the joint I'm talking about. And I forget what that track was. But it's that's not even a thought because I remember our first night when we did like that 3-peat from them. Our biggest takeaway was their voices.
Right.
Don't quote me on this. I think we was just like if Mamamoo was kind of the joint. We held them kind of high regard. Well, a couple people. You don't want to make a face. It wasn't you.
I wasn't making a face. No, I'm just listening.
I just remember that's my biggest takeaway from that. I remember us having them in high regard for vocals.
I remember that. I remember we didn't really know what their sound was because each of those songs sounded
Each of them
different.
sounded like a different track.
Who's that with the lollipop, y'all?
I don't know. She's cute. All of them. You can say that about that. All of them, though, man.
No, I'm just asking who's that with the lollipop.
Let's find out. Kurt, oh.
I enjoyed this a lot, honestly. Definitely, like, I love the vibrancy and the exposure and everything that was brought to the video. It was very, like, it was giving me, like, heavy, like, fairy tale-esque kind of vibes, both from all the garden and forest sequences within everything. And then when you add that to the over exposure and everything like that, not over in a bad way, but over in the sense that you're trying to make it almost, like, hyper-realistic. So I thought those elements were carried forward very well. Funny enough, even the train aspects of everything, it was giving me like Snowpiercer vibes, like where it's like dark and desolate, and it's in the winter and there's like no vibrancy of life, and this is very spring centric. The train is very, like the interior of it is floral, fluorescent, all
I was
those.
kind of getting Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, I could see that as well for sure. But then pairing all that with the spring aspects of everything, and it was just kind of it seeming like it was like coming out of, perhaps that kind of thing. I don't know if that was an intention or not, but nonetheless, it was just something I couldn't help but notice. I really love my biggest takeaway musically from this though is definitely that I would say we talk about the incredible power of being able to hit high notes, but I feel like, and this is perhaps more so on my part than any of yours, but I feel like it's also really understated the power of hitting a perfect low note, in the sense that there's like so much like control that you have to not let it overtake or anything like that. But they had such like a beautiful like whisper kind of note almost, like where it was almost like barely a register, like it was so sneakily kind of in there, but it was like they barely went above that throughout most of the song. And I don't know if it was the same member or several who were hitting a very similar note in that regard, but it was just a really beautiful note that I personally haven't heard that much of as far as like the groundwork of the vocals. I've seen it integrated mostly in background, but I love that was something that was more forefront in this track. But overall this was a really solid track for sure. It just I don't know, it might take a few listens to kind of grow on me to properly digest everything, but definitely what they did vocally, and the aesthetic and everything that was paired with it, with the video, the spring vibes and everything. And funny enough, I don't know what the Carol 1 is, but the clock was referencing the Carol 2, when the lollipop basically became some sort of like butterfly and then kind of changed the clock to strike midnight, which again gave me more of that Cinderella fairy tale-esque sort of vibe, which funny enough, Keith had touched on the Disney princess aspect. I was getting almost like a Midsummer Night's Dream sort of thing in the night forest sequence. But all in all, this was really solid for sure, and I definitely want to hear more of Loona going forward, because I know it took us a while to kind of spin the block on it.
Yeah, they were going to Hogwarts, man. Nah. Like I said, this definitely was a good joint in my opinion. Even I think if anybody on the panel like wasn't feeling it, us being kind of like 4 or 5 songs in, I think we understand that, like, you know, this group is talented. They got a bunch of different sounds. It's really about us just kind of doing the hard work and doing like some more listening to other tracks and trying to like gauge the room. Something is telling me though, if we probably go in 5 or 6 more tracks, this is going to be a girl group that sneaks into the girl top 5 for a lot of people. I'm already kind of getting that vibe from them. They're already checking off like a lot of boxes on there. Visually, it looks like anyone could be a center here. The talent is just, I look at that as a gift and a curse. The whole, you know, who's singing and what's doing what. Oh, my fault that y'all have 12 amazing singers. Like, you know what I mean? So it's more of a gift than like, you know, kind of a nuisance or a curse. But I'm just excited and ready to kind of hear some more stuff.
I mean, just from the standpoint, like, so not to compare, but like when Henchan comes on, you know it's fucking Henchan. When Do Young comes on, you know it's Do Young. Like it's, you don't have to see the video or see the color coded to know who it is. I kind of want that voice recognition with these groups, but sometimes because they're so talented and maybe the songs call for it to a degree where they're interchangeable as far as the tone and everything else, it's hard to like get that, you know, that separation.
Yeah, well, respectfully, Wanju, we did. NCT might be the second most videos we've watched like ever.
True.
Even on
Absolutely.
Patreon, we have 170 NCT videos. So it's just, we kind of had to grow into that too. Henchan maybe so, like kind of from the first listen, you kind of can tell he's different. But you know, if I ask Zach or Shai or somebody else what's the difference between Do Young and Tael, I'm pretty sure maybe they might, you know what I mean? But I get what you're saying and I agree. But I by the time I think we're 5 more videos in, we'll probably have a different view because we're already doing the homework now. If y'all see us on the phone trying to gauge what's going on. But yeah, man, jump in the comments. Let us know what other Loona tracks we should jump into. Let us know if this was their first comeback of the year or if they had other stuff in the tuck. Let us know if an album is out. Fill the comments up with information, man. Teach us. We love you guys to death. We're going to holler at y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Take care.